Wild Card Monday, who would have thought? The Arizona Cardinals head to LA to take on the Rams in Stafford. Very important game for both teams. Stick around. Let's dig in from a DFS perspective. Hey, hello, and we are back. Thanks for being here once again. I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk about Wild Card Monday Night Football. It goes on and on and on. We've had two back-to-back days of just awesome football, right? You know, some blowouts, some close games, some weird nonsense with the ref spotting the ball, running into the quarterback, but that's all done and over. Either teams are going home or they're moving on. These two teams, the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams, still in it. There's going to be some sort of heavyweight fight here. I'm telling you, the young kid, Kyler Murray, the seasoned veteran, Matthew Stafford, was never able to get over the hump here in Detroit, but it's basically it's a new season. It's the postseason after said season here. Before we get into the game, you know, and the players and the price tags, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall. I've said it, you know, all weekend actually. No active promotions here so far. They filled up every void or every, you know, premium membership, free and or discounted membership that we can here. But right now at the Discord, the Team Rise or Fall Discord, which is always free. This video is free. Bottom of the barrel is free. I made no secret about that here. But in the Discord for the premium members, there is some lineup building premium chats here, or like audio an hour before lock each game here. So I would imagine, you know, kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern here. Me and Mitch and some other folks will be live in the premium Discord channel, just working it out, building lines. And I'm telling you right now, it's not all like robotic. We did it all weekend. I hopped in yesterday, Sunday, and we're building lines. I had my phone and my notes in front of me, talking to folks as I was building, as I was making the decisions, actually why I was making the decisions I was making. So seems to be popular building lineups. So come hang and join Team Rise or Fall, right? You can hop in the Discord for free, or if you want the premium chat and the hour leading up to lock, hang in there. Go to Discord, tag me, tag Mitch, and we'll see what we can get going here. All right, enough with all that nonsense. I want to talk about the game. Don't you hear? As I said, the Arizona Cardinals head to LA to take on the Rams here. Let me bring up what I have for I know the over-under right now is at about 49.5 points. In some spots, it's probably, you can get it at around 50, 51. That's all up to you. The Arizona Cardinals are also getting 3.5 points in this one, which as we go through the video, that half a point is going to be a problem with me. So as we go, I'll kind of work it out, you know, and we'll go from there. Just a few little news and notes. I have some betting trends. Maybe I'll save those to the end of the video here. But both time last games out here, we know that the Rams lost to San Francisco, who beat Dallas last night. So right now, San Francisco is a tough team right now, showing up with switchblades and leather jackets. I mean, they're just going to make the playoffs, you know, just hard and awful for any team they come across here. But we'll save all that nonsense and narratives until next week. But right now, the Rams, we know what the Rams have done, right? I'm going to throw out the regular season and talk about right now, day one from the playoffs here. The Rams, they've absolutely added to their team to go on a Super Bowl run here. But we know last weekend, as I was saying, they blew a 17-point lead to the San Francisco 49ers, and they lost 27-24. Rams 12-5 were outgained 449 yards in comparison to 265 for themselves. Let me repeat that. San Francisco put up 449 yards in comparisons to the Rams 265 yards here, and they converted, I believe, 10 of 17 on third down. You might say, well, why are you reading all this stuff now? Because the last two times these teams played, the Rams lost, but Arizona won 24-17 on the strength of some very good play by James Conner, on the strength of some very good play by Kyler Murray. Completed 28 of 39 passes for around 240-ish yards here, and it ended with a 20-yard touchdown reception to James Conner here. So let's get into it. This game is going to be unbelievable. Enough with the filler bullshit. I'm sorry. Sometimes I drone on and on and on. I take these notes and you just get on with it, Chris. Let's go. Kyler Murray, Arizona's playing in LA. LA 6th overall against opposing quarterbacks here. Kyler Murray, $17,000 on FanDuel. DraftKings, $11,200. And if you want Kyler in the captain spot, MVP spot, however you want to put put it on DraftKings, he's $6,800. I mean, in this one, everybody's all on the table. We know Kyler Murray, just an absolute monster dual threat here. So when you look at Murray, I have him for around 24, 25 completions, 275 to 280 yards, and you're looking at 6 or 7 carries for an additional 35, maybe 40 yards here. I think he's on, we can log him in for at least 2 touchdowns. How do they come? I don't know. So you're looking for an anytime touchdown bet. Kyler Murray, is easy peasy in this one. When we talk about Matthew Stafford here, it's nice to, won't spend a ton of time here. I'm sure you're already thinking this guy's going to go on and on about Stafford playing in Detroit. No, not real. I like Stafford. I'm glad he's in the playoffs. And boom, he's with the Rams playing Arizona. Arizona 10th overall against opposing quarterbacks here. So Stafford, to me, 15.5 on FanDuel, $10,800 on DraftKings. And when you look, if you want him at your captain spot on DraftKings, $16,200 here. Now, Stafford, I have him for around 22 completions in this one, 255, 260 yards. Again, the total yardage here, to me, that's his floor. I think he's on the hook for at least 3 touchdowns in this one. More than likely, the touchdown passes. I know anytime anybody does or writes, football stuff, fantasy football stuff, sports betting stuff, touchdowns are next to impossible to get a handle on. But in this game, this is a heavyweight bout here. This is going to be a slugfest. So again, you can count on Kyler to be accountable for at least 2 touchdowns, and then Stafford around three of those things, and we'll dole them out as we get through the video. When we talk about the running backs here, James Conner has got a questionable tag next to his name. I don't think that'll be an issue. This guy, I hesitate to say this, but the first thing that popped into my head, at least the last 4 or 5 weeks, is Conner's been tough as nails, and we haven't always been able to say that about Conner going back to his Pittsburgh days here, but he's on one. So let's use Conner at the Rams. The Rams are 8th overall against opposing running backs. James Conner, $13,000 on FanDuel, about $9,400 on DraftKings. MVP spot, $14,100 here. I have James Conner for a nice healthy workload here. You're looking at about 14, maybe 15 carries for 65 to 70 yards in this one. I think early on here, both teams, we know the deal. This is just, fill in the blank right here. Both teams are going to want to establish the run, because when you do that, it opens up the passing game. That's just football 101. So again, DFS 101 would be to try and take advantage of that. Obviously, Chase Edmonds is there, but Conner going to see 3-4 targets. Hopefully, what he does with those, that's what we're looking for. When we talk about Chase Edmonds here, $11,000 on FanDuel, only $5,000 on DraftKings, and if you want Conner in your MVP spot on DraftKings, $7,500. What's weird to me, what's shocking to me is, normally in a single game slate here, both sites that they're obviously differently priced here, but look at the large gap here in the price tag. Chase Edmonds, as I said, $11,000 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings he's only $5,000. What do they know that we don't? I mean, I know you can't see the future here. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. None of this stuff is rigged here, but there's a massive price difference here. So to me, I would consider, if not just outright fading Chase Edmonds on DraftKings or FanDuel based on his price tag. So to me, Chase Edmonds, full go on DraftKings. Eno Benjamin could be in play here. We don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Who's to say, in a single game slate, postseason, here we are, with a Millie Maker. What happens if James Conner is kind of sluggish, or Chase Edmonds leaves with a rolled ankle? I don't know. I don't wish the guy any ill will, but just keep Eno Benjamin on your radar. Only $6,000 on FanDuel. When we talk about the Los Angeles Rams running backs, this is where it gets good, because Sony Michel, $12,000 on FanDuel, only $7,800 on DraftKings. Again, Arizona's 11th overall against opposing running backs here. We know Sony Michel is just like a short-term kind of option here, leading into next season as Cam Akers gets healthy. But Cam will probably have some sort of workload or a role in this one. But Sony, 17-plus carries in this one. Maybe 17 is a little ambitious, so anything over that would be gravy. But I have Sony Michel around 17 carries, 75 75-ish yards here, that would be fantastic. We've seen Sony the last few weeks just eat up chunk yardage, right? When they get moving, when they get on a roll, Sony Michel is just putting his head down and boom, slamming through that line, and here we are. When we talk about Cam Akers, 7.5 on FanDuel, $6,600 on DraftKings, still very early on, not in his recovery, but still early on in his, action, getting back to action. But again, as soon as that Achilles injury happened all the way back in the spring and the summer, this was always the most hopeful outlook that if the Rams were able to make it to the playoffs, boom, Akers is going to hit the ground running. So again, we're not looking for 15 plus carries from Akers, not just yet. So fingers crossed they make it through and we get to see more Akers in the postseason. But right now, I'm looking at 6, maybe 7 carries. We'll get around 40, 45 yards, if that. So to me, it's all about James Conner and Sony Michel. When we talk about the wide receivers really quick, Christian Kirk in LA. LA is 28th overall against opposing wide receivers. To me, and it's in my notes, which I'll share here, the way to attack this game is to mix and match both Cardinals wide receivers and both the LA Rams wide receivers here. I don't think it would be any good to fade the quarterbacks here, but to me, I'm going to mix and match these wide receivers, and I might build a line fading every position except for the wide receivers. Just load up on Kirk and Green, Cooper, Kupp, and then Odell Beckham Jr. and whatever money you got left at the end, that's where we'll fill it in. But to me, Christian Kirk, $11,000 on FanDuel, $7,000 on DraftKings. I'm looking at, 4+ targets, maybe 5-6 receptions in this one, 50-60 yards here, and boom, we'll go on here. Maybe Christian Kirk finds some sort of, open soft spot on the field here, and who's to say that Kyler Murray don't find this kid for a 40, 50 yard plus touchdown. AJ Green is who I want to stop on here. $8,000 on FanDuel, $5,800 on DraftKings. I believe AJ Green has that vintage kind of AJ Green game. We haven't seen one in a long time. This guy is a consummate professional, but he's just been, doing his, how can I put this? Just being okay. He's just like an above average wide receiver as of late. But tonight, we're going to see that AJ Green of old, vintage AJ Green, 5-6 targets, maybe 5 to 6 receptions, which would be wild here. I'm thinking about 70, 75 yards and a touchdown reception in this one. So don't look past AJ Green. Antoine Wesley, Rondale Moore. Moore has a questionable tag. Don't know what his status is going to be. Even if Moore plays, I'm looking at 2 receptions, 20 yards here. So we can do better. Yeah. Cooper Kupp here in this one. Arizona, 30th overall against opposing wide receivers. I don't have to sell you on Cooper Kupp. Guy's a stone cold stud. I'm looking at 9 receptions, 110 plus yards. To me, it's, not 1 touchdown, but how many touchdowns is this guy going to catch here? Realistically, I think he catches 2 of them. I have it in my notes. 1 to 2 touchdowns, question marks. When we go down here, Odell Beckham Jr., 10.5 on FanDuel, $6,800 on DraftKings. Van Jefferson Jr., $8,000 on FanDuel, $5,200 on DraftKings. I have Odell Beckham, 4 or 5 receptions, 50, maybe 60 yards, and a touchdown reception of his own here. So Van Jefferson Jr., slightly scaled back, 4 receptions, 50 yards, and that's about it here. And that's fine when you look at his price tag, $8,000 on FanDuel, as I said, $5,200 on DraftKings. When we talk about the tight ends in terms of Arizona, there's only one name in town here, and that's Zach Ertz, $9,000 on FanDuel, $6,200 on DraftKings. I'm looking at Zach Ertz here, and call me crazy, 5 receptions, 50 plus yards in this one. So he makes for a nice move here. Maybe Ertz is even in conversation for your captain spot on DraftKings tonight, which would cost you $9,300. Tyler Higbee, what are we going to do there? A guy showed up the last few times out here. Tyler Higbee, 8.5 on FanDuel, $5,400 on DraftKings, 4 or 5 receptions. And even that's, I know I'm just passing out receptions for the Rams here, and you're going to say to yourself, well, you got 4 or 5 for what's his name? Van Jefferson. You got 4 or 5 for Odell, 9 for Cooper Kupp. So what do you think? Matthew Stafford's going to complete 50 passes? No, but again, this is the wild card weekend, wild card Monday. Why wouldn't we be, over the top and just really be ambitious with our projections here? Because to me, that makes everything from start to finish more fun. It's making this video make it, actually while I'm recording this is making me excited. So hopefully you're feeling that kind of vibe here. You're feeling that ooze, that pressure, or however you want to put it. I don't know. I'm talking too much. When we talk about the kickers, Matt Prater, Matt Gay, of the two, to me, both are in play here. Matt Prater, $9,000 on FanDuel, only $4,000 on DraftKings, and then Matt Gay, the Rams kicker, $9,500 on FanDuel, $4,200 on DraftKings. Of these two, I think both hit a 50-plus yard field goal in this one, which is awesome. You get an extra point or two because of the yardage here. And then when we talk about the defenses, I just want a quick little note. J.J. Watt has been activated, and I believe J.J. plays today. And does he have that much of a sway defensively on Stafford and the offensive line of the Rams? Well, absolutely. J.J. Watt is a stone cold stud. Sure fire, Hall of Famer in this one. So to me, I would prefer to fade both of those because my final score here, wait for it, drum roll, I think the Rams win this one. It's going to be so close. I think the Rams put up 27 or 28 points in comparison to the Cards like 24. So let's just say final score, the Rams win this one 27-24. Stafford finally gets that playoff win, finally gets over the schneid, and then boom, they move on and they're rolling and they're running. Thanks again for being here. As I said, I'm Chris. You know where to find me on Twitter at Detroit Beastie. At the end of this video, after you like or share, if you feel so inclined to do, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, the Discord. It is free, right? But there is a premium portion here if you're a member, and you get the $20 membership that rolls over to Fantasy Cruncher every month here. But we have some premium options here, some chats that we go live and we chat and we build lineups for about an hour leading up to lock. So hopefully I'll see you this evening somewhere around 6:30, 7 o'clock at Team Rise or Fall. Tag me if you can't find it. I'd love to help you. Until then, I'll see you next week for the divisional round. Can you believe it? We're coming down to it. I'll see you soon, and have a good week if I don't talk to you.